Creatures.
Let's not call it shit because it is not shit. Let's say.
This YouTube channel is one of many. Well, one of the 3 to 4 that I've made with a lot of content on it. And ever since I started, I wanted to create a Minecraft world and share the journey through it. So I figured, let's do that. It has taken me literal months to find this world, with this generation, with everything that is here. The music in the background is my own album. As for any album, out of the 8,000 plus songs that I've made in my career as a creature, I'm not a rapper, I'm not an artist. I'm just somebody who loves life and does whatever the fuck he feels like, as long as it does not bother anybody. Because you know, it's all about the peace and being content. And this album has got me Lunde. It's from 11 days ago. Beautiful, beautiful album. Like the last few days of winter, that's when I made this album. I'm rolling something up right now. Let's call it a cigarette. I do not actually smoke tobacco. I in general quit inhaling smoke and start inhaling vapor instead whenever I do. But whatever excretes this vapor, I have to be very careful with my words here. Whatever excretes this vapor, once I used it one time, I already throw it out, though I can get like 3 uses out of it. So I roll it up. Else it is a waste. So I almost fucked it up there. I am rolling up some OG. Yeah, those who know will know that. And it is a CBD dominant, let's call it strain. And yeah, it has a nice little effect. Also got myself a nice little herbal tea next to me, and I'll roll that, get to the game. This album is not how all my music is, but I've gone through a lot of phases. This Minecraft series will be more so me talking and playing a game than it will be seriously being a Minecrafter. Just like talking. So this is my base. Still working on it quite a lot. Previous world still has episodes I've yet to release, so those are coming too. But those episodes are outdated. I've built many castles in between. With many I mean like 2. So I want to take the time with this first episode to talk about who the Dashie is. In a summarized form, it is hard to articulate my being, especially using words. Words come after the matter, right? Because what are you wording? That what you are referring to with your words has to be there first. What else is there to refer to? I'm always just busy with living life. I'm a proud witch. And as I'm a proud witch, I spent a lot of time in nature. And as I do that, I established this wanting to bring what I have around me in real life into this game. And the album in the background got me Lunde. It's dedicated to the swamps, the wetlands. And yeah, I do not have this in real life, but I have all the elements that I like about the environment in real life, right? And when I refer to elements, let me demonstrate. Lots of cool biomes. I'm not going to spoil too much, but This is all swamp. All swampy. I live in the marshland. It's very marshy over here. It's very wet. Europe is a very beautiful place. The plan is to conquer land. But what is even more the plan is to make a statement. And actually create a series that I will uphold. I've been going through a lot of changes. I should. Because life changes a lot. And I like that. You know, as someone who entertains all aspects of life, I find it important to confront and sit down with whatever may come my way. And so that also includes all of the things that come that are not necessarily considered to be a part of the spectrum that we call nice. Right? Not everything I accept into my life is necessarily accepted because I think it is nice or feel like I think it is nice or whatever the fuck like that, right? I just care about how it checks off physically when it comes down to being there physically. This world will be one of my various forms of practice when it comes down to the craft. Let me elaborate. The craft refers to a form of witchcraft, and this form of witchcraft is not like what you see in the movies. It is not anything the Hollywood or whatever it's called. It is not anything from the movies, really. It actually adheres to science, right? It adheres to the fundamental principle of action-reaction. That what has underbuilt everything that we use to establish ourselves as a society. And this right here is one of those forms of magic. This form of magic plays onto memory. Say by using my brain to memorize crafting recipes, then calling upon them on command, I familiarize myself with using that part of my brain. I get familiar with activating those neurons. Those neurons become more well established. Every single time I call upon a group of neurons, or groups, or group of groups of neurons, those neurons become better and better and better, just like muscle. So this game allows me to establish memory in a different way. So though Minecraft, it's not all like real life, right? Like there are not really zombies out there. You're not really opening up a crafting bench to create a table. No, you go and like, you know, it works differently in real life. But one thing that does not work differently in real life is the neural functioning. The modularity that we use to access parts of memory and manage the excess memory. That's pretty widespread. The specific type of memory, the specific memory, right? The specifics. That's different, but there's a universal essence to it. In that no matter what kind of memory you're managing memory. And in that no matter what kind of thing you're memorizing something. And that is what I train with this game. Well, one of the things I like to exercise by playing this game. What I would like to call it is it just helps as a utility. It helps using my brain more, better. It also opens up a sense of creativity that I cannot find anywhere else. In that you can create anything in this game as long as it either adheres to the limitations of programming, right? Or, now let me put that differently. The only limitation in a game like this is your ability to express. And that part of me that expresses is the same part that I use every day to work as I do. And so by learning to express myself in this game, I learn to express myself in real life, because I'm pretty much doing the same thing, it's just different forms of the same thing. In real life, I would say, I could imagine, say I visualize a cube, and then I say that cube consists out of 10 individual cubes. Then each individual cube could have its own, see it like variables and values and assignment and conditions, and it's really quite programmatic. But to keep it simple, because I'm noticing it is very hard to underbuild this, because there's just a lot to it. I've been busy with it for like 6 years, and at this point the context has grown to such an extent that unless I word every single thing that led up to this, it's not going to make sense to anybody. And that's how it is meant to be when you are working on something unlike anybody, because you're obtaining experience nobody else does. Right? Experience makes us able to relate, and relatability makes us able to understand. So without the relatability, how would you understand? And so I make peace with that, but that is also the magic that this game works, and that I hope to capture a part of me that I've been unable to capture without this game. Because this game withholds so much value. Ordinarily, people would look at it as like, it's just a game though. Like, you know, it's just a game. And all I have to tell myself is to look in the mirror, to understand that what they are saying is coming from their experience. It's a derivation of their life, from their life. Life being experience, right? All in all, no matter what it looks like, I know what it is. And I'm capturing this as I'm creating this empire in this game. And as I'm creating this empire in this game, I'm going to be creating things in real life too. And as I create things in real life, me fluctuating is going to show throughout every episode. By the way I talk, the way I feel, what I talk about, etc, etc, etc. And then when I listen back to it, I'm like, oh yeah, I recall that. Just reinforcing neural circuitry. So there's a lot of words. Yeah. That is what all of these episodes will be. And the more you listen to it, the more sense it will make. Yeah. I'm a scientist, and I exercise. Oh, not exercise. Let's say I practice a lot of science. Right? Computer science, neuroscience, psychology. I love psychology. And I've been doing that, like I said, for like 6 years. And I've been doing that for as long as I have. I'm starting to feel like I want to share it. Because at some point it's going to be so... I'm going to be so complex. Nobody can understand it. Unless they come from the same kind of cloth, right? Unless they're cut from the same kind of cloth. With all due respect to anybody else, but everybody has their own unique faculties, I believe. Their own unique qualities, their own unique aspects. People's uniqueness is also given by the fact that we have unique identifiers. We have receptors in us that are unique per person. We have a unique neural circuitry, right? We have a unique experience, and most fundamental of all, two things can occupy the same space at the same time within this vacuum of space. When we're talking about matter, we are made out of matter, right? You may entertain ideas like, oh, we're not made out of matter, but rather, we have an ethereal body, and all of that bogus. And I call it bogus not because it is bogus, but because I categorize it as bogus to simplify my understanding. Because to me, it only complicates the understanding I'm trying to form. The understanding I'm trying to form is already there. It's already there. I'm just trying to word it. And I've been trying to word it. I've been trying to word all of my understanding. I have piles of books and literature that I wrote. And it checks out. And it works. This story is big. And very soon I will have my 5th book written out. And when that 5th book is done, a lot will change. How do you know that? Are you looking into the future? Are you looking into your scrying ball? Well, a ball of scrying. You could see it like that. But looking into the future is not as magical, or should I say mystical, as it seems. And when I say magical in this sense, I mean magical without the K. Right? Magic I'm talking about is magic with the C and the K, rather than just the C. The difference is given by the fact that one originates from Hollywood, and the other is actual and comes from the occult. And occult does not mean Satanist, right? That's a stereotypical, that's like a stigma, that's a lot of people would identify it. At least I've encountered that. Right, I only speak from experience, that's what I've encountered. Also very important that anything I say is me. It's not anybody but me. Like, who else is here but me, right? So. But the occult is just the hidden. And what I've found after doing research and experimentation as thoroughly as I have, is that all religion comes down to the same thing. Yeah, no shit, I've heard that before. Some people will say. But I would say that it's not in the same kind of way that I mean it. Like, no matter what way you look, whoever is using words to describe whatever they are doing is relying on observation. And that observation is what allows words to be as they are. Right? It is you learning what words mean. It's you learning how to express them. It's you learning how people react to. It's just you observing and learning. And that's everywhere. And I believe that different people just have different ways of wording it, and that some ways of wording it are more relatable than others. I believe that all religion describes the same thing, a walk of life. And I believe all of science does that too. It does not just describe it, it acts on it. I would say that science used to be religion. I would say that religion turned into science. Because after people kept hoping and seeing that nothing actually came from the hope that they had put out, they started wondering what they were really hoping about. And that's when they started experimenting, I guess. Something like that. I'm not a historian. All I'm saying is just that it is all the same in my head. I feel like it just makes it too complicated. Like, why would I need 1,000 words to do what I can do anyway? Right. But I think this will be the first episode. Oh, what do we call this? Also, again, I quit smoking these things, but I had 3 more papers. I was like, fuck it. It's going to be worth it, you know, so. Men work hard. Men rest hard.
You know, attachment, this is why
I will call the series.
in my brain that what they say cannot be like, yo, I can't understand that right now, man. I'm just focused on this piece of moss that is on the street. I say I'm about to lift it up, you see, but then I find out the tree is way too heavy.
I do not know.
But you've got to come to terms with the fact that you can't
I don't know what I will call it.
gotta come to terms with the
But let us spoil the map a bit.
So I look at it like that.
Yeah, it's huge. This island is already huge. And you can see how it generated. Yeah, so what I'm going to do in the upcoming episodes is slowly but surely work my way across everywhere. I already established a wall. I'm establishing something here. I'm going there. Man, it is going to be the most ultimate Minecraft experience I've ever been able to establish. I know probably nobody listens to this. And even if somebody does, then I just want to say that, though it is not intended for anybody, anybody's welcome. I like hearing about what people think, whether I like what they say or not. It's just appreciable that people are taking the time they will never get back. Especially when they comment. This looks crazy beautiful. I just believe in peace. And as I believe in peace, man, there's so much for me to say. I feel like everything I've yet said is not underbuilt fully. Right? But I think that leaves space. That leaves space for exactly that. How shall I
meditated in this place. Yeah, tree branch forest where I was. Looking at the bog, this is just where I was. Sitting in the middle on an island, here I go. And just meditating.
So the reason I'm doing that is to ensure that no creatures come through. They break the glass and they blow shit up. Nah, distraction, it got to go away. So what I do is, but yeah, as I said, nothing of what I say, I like putting this disclaimer into my books too. Nothing of what I say should be taken as anything but just a person thinking out loud. It's just merely an expression of life, and it does not at all correlate to actuality per se. It's rather an abstract of it, right? Reality is a construct. Reality is constructed by the brain. As the environment fires our body, right? And that the environment stimulates the body. As a result, the body produces the mind as it does. Experience is the result of environmental. It's called epigenetic. We are environmental, in that we are the environment, and we live through it, and it lives through us. When we die, creatures eat us, and while we are alive, we eat creatures. It's environment, body, and mind. And yeah. I'm honestly quite in space right now. I did not expect this vaporized material to still do what it is doing right now. But yeah, I will see you creatures next episode.